This is serious news, truly serious. Christie sides Cheryl Miller and Linn Dunn have just unveiled shocking information that has rocked the basketball community. Renowned for their expertise and influential perspectives, this trio's startling revelation is creating a buzz that can't be ignored. It has the potential to alter the trajectory of the entire season, whether it pertains to player health, team dynamics, or an even larger issue. This isn't merely a minor setback, it's a game changer. The implications of this news will be profound and long-lasting. Stay tuned, because what's coming next could redefine everything we thought we knew about the sport.
You know, she's been playing and doing things and just getting an understanding of the league. Every game she gets a little bit better. Every game she gets a little bit understanding of, the speed and the quickness. I don't think, we had some opportunities in the middle pick and roll with her and AB and her and Liz that I don't think we capitalized on it. And she and I talked about that for a minute.
Caitlin Clark has emerged as an unstoppable force in basketball, a name that inspires both admiration and wonder. Coaches, analysts, and experts have been left in awe of her phenomenal performances, showcasing not just skill, but also unparalleled leadership. Her ability to transform the game on her own has redefined expectations, leaving fans and opponents alike captivated. With each game, she continues to solidify her status as a true game changer, proving that her impact reaches far beyond the court.
Well, I knew she was highly competitive, but I don't think I realized how highly competitive she is until we did some of those games, team building games during the Olympic break, and so she wants to win everything.
Her dominance on the court has made her a subject of both praise and analysis, as the basketball world tries to make sense of what makes her so special.
She's having impact on her team that nobody else in the league is having on her team. This is a team that went 13-27 last year, and suddenly the Indiana Fever are the hottest team by far in the league.
For countless experts, what truly sets Caitlin Clark apart is her remarkable versatility. She can score from virtually anywhere on the court, effortlessly sinking shots from deep beyond the arc, executing mid-range pull-ups, or driving to the basket with relentless aggression. Her ability to adapt her game to any situation makes her a nightmare for defenders and a lethal weapon for her team. With her diverse scoring arsenal, Clark not only keeps opponents guessing, but also elevates the entire game, showcasing why she is one of the most dynamic players in basketball today.
Caitlin Clark is running away with the WNBA assists lead. She's 25 better than anybody else in the league. Pretty extraordinary for a rookie. Caitlin Clark, in a shock to me, has proven already to be a once-a-generation passer. I did not see that coming at Iowa. I thought scoring, yes, she's the all-time greatest scorer in the history of college basketball, men's or women's. But passing like this, I'm talking about gifted, LeBron-esque bounce passing.
Her shooting range is nearly limitless, and the way she consistently drains shots from jaw-dropping distances has coaches and defenders alike scratching their heads. But it's not just her shooting prowess that makes her exceptional. It's her impeccable timing and deep understanding of when to seize control of a game that truly sets her apart. Caitlin Clark possesses an uncanny ability to recognize when her team needs her the most, and she embraces those critical moments with unwavering confidence. Whether it's a clutch three-pointer or a decisive drive to the basket, she rises to the occasion, proving time and again why she's a game changer on the court.
No one like Caitlin Clark in the history of the WNBA.
Pretty exciting. One of the big reasons fans flock to State Farm Arena is, of course, the Caitlin Clark effect.
No one cares what skin color you are. You know what America loves? Let me break it down for you. We love.
Coaches marvel at her court vision, which rivals some of the best point guards to ever play the game. Clark isn't just a scorer, she's a facilitator who makes her teammates better. Her passing ability is exceptional, and she seems to have an almost sixth sense of where everyone is on the floor.
I think it's a huge thing. I think a lot of people say it's not about black and white, but to me, it is. It's really because you can be the top notch at what you do as a black woman, but maybe there's something that people don't want to see, Wilson said to the Associated Press.
This is exactly what makes Caitlin Clark so difficult to defend. Opponents know she's more than capable of dropping 30 or even 40 points in a single game. But the moment they focus too heavily on shutting down her scoring, she'll find an open teammate for an easy basket. It's that perfect balance between being an elite scorer and a dynamic playmaker that makes her virtually unstoppable. Her ability to keep defenses guessing, whether she's taking the shot herself or setting up others, ensures she always has the upper hand, no matter what teams throw at her.
Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA.
Coaches are often left in a bind when it comes to devising a game plan against Clark. She's too versatile to be guarded by just one type of player. Put a smaller, quicker defender on her.
Her three-point shooting has heated up, and nobody in the league can flick logo threes as effortlessly as Caitlin can.
And she'll use her size and strength to get to the rim, try a bigger, more physical player, and she'll shoot over them from deep double-team her. And she'll find an open teammate with a perfect pass.
The biggest reason that she's popular is it's the Steph Curry syndrome. She looks a lot like the girl who's out shooting hoops next door, and she plays like we are all capable of playing.
There are no easy answers when it comes to slowing Caitlin Clark down. This is exactly why opposing coaches are left struggling to find solutions. From a mental standpoint, her dominance stems from more than just natural talent. It's her relentless work ethic and unyielding drive. Experts constantly point to how her dedication to improving her game is unmatched. It's not just about maintaining her performance. Clark consistently finds ways to elevate it, year after year, pushing the boundaries of what's possible and leaving opponents scrambling to keep up.
A lot of people get emotional over race, over how good you are, over if this person's a better basketball player. It is all about business for corporations, and it's all about, can you sell their product?
She puts in countless hours of practice, not just to refine her shooting, but to sharpen every aspect of her game.
There is a lot of appropriate attention on Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, and we found out that the Fever Storm game from over the weekend drew 2.2 million viewers, which is massive. The WNBA has 18 games this season where they've had more than 1 million viewers average, and 16 of those 18 have featured Caitlin Clark. So you cannot deny the connectivity of Caitlin Clark playing basketball and people wanting to watch. If she's playing, they will come, they will watch the game.
Her attention to detail, whether it's improving her ball handling or studying film to break down defenses, shows a level of commitment that is rarely seen even at the highest levels of the sport.
2,826 gallons of beer have been sold.
Wow.
Draft beer. That's an increase of 740%. Hot dog sales up 300%.
Coaches speak highly of her discipline and her constant pursuit of perfection, which sets her apart from even the most talented players. Another aspect that experts admire is her leadership.
The WNBA tried to capitalize on her popularity and crammed a lot of games in over a short amount of time, playing against the best teams in the WNBA.
Despite her young age, Clark commands respect from her teammates and coaches. She's vocal on the court, directing traffic and making sure everyone is in the right position. Her intensity is contagious, and she holds her teammates accountable in a way that makes them better.
Caitlin Clark now has the rookie record, the history of the WNBA. She's now going to try to set the all-time record, but 12 games to go. Now, this is happening exactly how I scripted it. I think that was lost on a lot of people. Watch her play. She plays at a high level, highly skilled. She's the best passer in America, and she's the best shooter in America.
It's rare to see someone so young exhibit such maturity and poise under pressure. But Caitlin Clark embraces that responsibility with ease. When the game is on the line, she's never afraid to take charge, stepping into the moment with confidence. This type of leadership is invaluable, and it's something coaches and experts believe will carry her far beyond her college years. Her ability to lead by example, especially in critical moments, is what sets her apart and will continue to fuel her success at the next level.
Caitlin Clark is the biggest star in American sports. There's not one other American athlete that could do what Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA or for any league.
I think she should be up for MVP.
Many have compared Clark to some of the greatest to ever play the game, and for good reason. Her skill set is reminiscent of legends, but her ability to blend different styles into one cohesive game is what truly makes her unique.
What Caitlin Clark does is kind of simple, really. She shows up at games. She signs autographs. She talks to little girls wearing jerseys. She smiles to the crowd. And then here's the most important thing. She competes like a maniac. I mean, like a maniac.
Experts see shades of Steven. Curry in her deep range, shooting a touch of Magic Johnson in her playmaking, and a bit of Kobe Bryant in her fearless approach to big moments.
Regular season viewership, it grew by 20% in 2023. It's grown by 180% now, which means it would take another 5 or 6 years to do what Caitlin Clark has done. So between draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%, between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%, between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%, what Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days.
Caitlin Clark, Christie Sides, and Linn Dunn have just made a huge announcement that's sending shockwaves through the basketball world. These three influential figures, each with their own legacy, have come together to share news that could change the future of the game. Fans and experts alike are buzzing and wondering what this unexpected collaboration means. Whatever it is, it's bound to have a major impact, and people are eager to see how it will unfold. This announcement is about to shake things up in a big way.
I mean, I think I could have done a little bit better job controlling my own emotions, but I think it just started bad for us and then continued to snowball, and that's something we have to control a little bit better. Not only did we not execute on the offensive end in the third quarter, but I thought they destroyed us offensively. Our defense wasn't very good, so I think just improving in that area and just all kind of gathering our emotions a little bit better and finding better shots. I thought we kind of stopped playing in a way that made us successful in the first half, so just a good learning opportunity for us. I feel like we could have played a lot better. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a line, and sometimes your passion, your emotion can get to you, but...
Caitlin Clark has quickly become one of the most electrifying and talked about athletes in basketball. Her rise to stardom has been nothing short of meteoric, and for good reason. With her extraordinary talent, fierce competitive spirit, and relentless drive, Clark has redefined what it means to dominate in women's basketball. She's not just playing the game, she's transforming it, setting a new standard for excellence and intensity on the court.
I mean, she's been playing and doing things and just getting an understanding of the league. Every game she gets a little bit better. Every game she gets a little bit understanding of, the speed and the quickness. I don't think, we had some opportunities in the middle pick and roll with her and AB and her and Liz that I don't think we capitalized on it. And she and I talked about that for a minute.
Every time she steps on the court, she creates magic, leaving fans in awe and opponents scrambling to figure out how to stop her. But Caitlin Clark isn't just a star, she's a phenomenon from an early age. It was clear that Clark was special.
I knew she was highly competitive, but I don't think I realized how highly competitive she is until we did some of those games, team building games during the Olympic break, and so she wants to win everything.
Growing up in Iowa, she showed a rare combination of skill and determination that set her apart from her peers. Her ability to handle the ball, score from anywhere, and control the pace of the game made her a standout talent in high school, where she quickly rose through the ranks as one of the best young players in the country. Colleges across the nation competed for her commitment.
Splice it and cut it and make it a negative thing. The one thing that I love that she's bringing to her sport, more people want to watch. More people want to tune in. I saw for the first time that they had a chartered plane. That should be celebrated, and it's because of Caitlin Clark. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up.
But ultimately, Clark chose to stay close to home, committing to play for the University of Iowa, a decision that would prove pivotal for both her career and the program. From the moment she stepped on the court, it was clear that something special was happening. In her very first game, Clark wasted no time making her presence known. She showcased the kind of talent that had basketball insiders buzzing, with her scoring ability proving to be unparalleled. Whether it was launching deep threes, hitting smooth mid-range jumpers, or fearlessly attacking the rim.
Yeah, it was great. Honestly, it was a lot of fun. I thought we came in here and we competed hard. That was the thing. We knew they were going to want to win, so we came out with the same mindset of wanting to win. I think we were down 2 at halftime, and I thought we started the third quarter really strong, and that's what kind of set the tone for that whole second half. And then never hurts when Arike gets really hot like that. It's just kind of like give her the ball and let her do her thing.
Clark made it clear early on that she could do it all. She became a nightmare for opposing defenses who simply couldn't figure out how to contain her double teams didn't work, as she would simply pass out of them with pinpoint accuracy.
Like Caitlin Clark. In the history of the WNBA,
Pretty exciting. One of the big reasons fans flock to State Farm Arena is, of course, the Caitlin Clark effect.
No one cares what skin color you are. You know what America loves? Let me break it down for you. We love.
Single coverage was out of the question, as she would torch defenders with ease as her career progressed. The records started to pile up. Clark didn't just play the game, she dominated it in ways that seemed impossible for someone so young. She led the nation in scoring, setting new benchmarks for what an elite guard could accomplish.
Nothing, Shannon. You just want to support that white girl. She busting y'all ass. If you like Caitlin Clark, you gotta hate Angel. And if you love Angel, you can't say anything good about Caitlin Clark. Y'all can't tell me what the F to say. I'm gonna say what I want to say.
Yeah.
But beyond the points and the highlights, what truly made Clark special was her basketball IQ. She didn't just rely on raw talent, she thought her opponents, reading the defense, making quick decisions, and controlling the flow of the game. Her court vision was unparalleled, with her ability to find teammates in seemingly impossible situations.
I think it's a huge thing. I think a lot of people say it's not about black and white, but to me, it is. It's really because you can be the top notch at what you do as a black woman, but maybe there's something that people don't want to see. Wilson said to the Associated Press. The biggest reason that she's popular is it's the Steph Curry syndrome. She looks a lot like the girl who's out shooting hoops next door, and she plays like we are all capable of playing.
In clutch moments when the game was on the line, Clark didn't shy away. She thrived. She relished those high-pressure situations where the intensity was palpable and delivered time and time again, whether it was a game-winning shot or a key defensive play. Clark's impact on winning was undeniable.
You know what the average attendance is when Caitlin Clark plays home or the road?
What?
15,300.
Wow.
Okay? 15,300.
That could do what Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA or for any league.
Regular season viewership, it grew by 20% in 2023. It's grown by 180% now, which means it would take another 5 or 6 years to do what Caitlin Clark has done. So between draft day viewership, which is up 400% to 40%, between ticket sales, which is up 93% to 16%, between regular game viewership, which is up 180% to 20%, what Caitlin Clark has done is grown the WNBA exponentially. She did in 5 weeks what would have taken 5 years. And as it pertains to draft viewership, she did in 5 days what would have taken 5 years.
Now has the rookie record, the history of the WNBA. She's now going to try to set the all-time record, but 12 games to go. Now, this is happening exactly how I scripted it. I think that was lost on a lot of people. Watch her play. She plays at a high level, highly skilled. She's the best passer in America, and she's the best shooter in America.
There is a lot of appropriate attention on Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, and we found out that the Fever Storm game from over the weekend drew 2.2 million viewers, which is massive. The WNBA has 18 games this season where they've had more than 1 million viewers average, and 16 of those 18 have featured Caitlin Clark. So you cannot deny the connectivity of Caitlin Clark playing basketball and people wanting to watch. If she's playing, they will come, they will watch the game.
It's really exciting. It's not surprising. I think it was important that, we valued ourselves in this negotiation.
Rookie of the Year Kelton Clark and Cheryl Reeve recently partnered for a big TV deal that can change the WNBA.
In the perfect timing, they're going to get a new TV deal, which is going to obliterate the old TV deal.
They have maintained a strong commitment to covering women's sports over the years, unlike other media in our market.
I think your commitment through the years in covering women's sports is not shared by, the broader media in our market. We've improved our coverage in our market for sure, but it is not at the level that it should be at this point, given the magnitude of the events that we have had, whether it's WNBA championships, multiple times, and whether it's when we hosted the All-Star game, whatever it is. And so, we've got another step to go. I'm really hopeful that the current events in covering women's sports, how things are changing very rapidly, that our market is one that will grab a hold and share your passion for it.
The USA experience was the catalyst for her career trajectory that was a turning point that launched her career.
Yeah, I think Ka's the epitome of a career trajectory, in that her first USAB experience, was one in terms of where she was at in the league, that, it was typical first experience. She had a lot to learn, a lot to figure out. But she started figuring that out in the WNBA, obviously, as we know, with, culminating in an MVP in the finals. And she just keeps growing. She's got a great work ethic, great passion for the game. And so I think it's notable. I think, like you said a little bit later in her career, I think that's notable for players, that they understand. We were just having this conversation that it may not be your time when you're younger. Maybe there's just people at your position. Maybe you still have a little bit to add to your game, whatever it is. And, being patient in that process. Yeah, it's really exciting. It's not surprising. I think it was important that, we valued ourselves in this negotiation. It's certainly helpful to have this rookie class, led by Caitlin, who, is sort of driving, the media, the interest, the business.
Cheryl Reeve making sure she knows what the WNBA's got in store for the beginning of the season.
And so I think making sure that, I said this in the beginning of the season, what can the WNBA do? We can take advantage and not sell ourselves short. And also have a vision for the future, where this league is headed, like all pro sports leagues that we have seen, NBA, Major League Baseball, NFL. There is an evolution to a sports league, and we're in our evolution. This is our moment to take that next step.
According to Caitlin, Cheryl's a trailblazer in the sport and just a really cool individual.
I think, obviously, Cheryl, she's like one of the pioneers of our game and just an awesome individual. Like, her personality just radiates. Like, being around her, it just makes you smile. Like, she's just such a cool human. So for her to get to coach us, like, super exciting for me. I was super excited when I heard that news. Like, just a great opportunity to be around somebody that's given so much to this game, and to get to enjoy this, my first experience with her, honestly. It's awesome, and to be a part of this, like, to see it grow, it's super special. I'm happy for the players that have been in this league for a really long time to have moments like these and opportunities like these, because they've deserved it. It's been a long time coming, but honestly, like, I feel like we're just scratching the surface. Like you said, the 2 expansion teams that already announced and are, going to be coming over the course of the next 2 years, like, that's only going to help the league grow. It's going to get more eyeballs, get us into new markets. The new media rights deal, that's going to help. So it's just, day by day, year by year, like, it's only going to continue to get better, and it's going to give people an opportunity to see how good women's basketball is.
One of the greatest competitors that the league or women's basketball has ever seen, or sports have ever seen. One of the all-time greatest competitors. It's a player that we have loved to hate as the opponent, but that means you are really, really doing something great. She's done it all in big games, won us big games, makes big shots. Her level of compete, her understanding of the game, what should happen, her understanding of her teammates, how to put them in position to be successful.
It's truly fascinating to delve into everything that's been happening in the WNBA recently, from the standout performances on the court to the impactful social initiatives off the court.
Did you guys see this note? It's really interesting what's happened to the WNBA. In the perfect timing, they're going to get a new TV deal, which is going to obliterate the old TV deal. They're still going to lose money this year doing the charter flights. I think putting cart before horse is a little bit much, but the Caitlin Clark effect is real. It just is. And the latest sign is that they got 3.44 million people watched the WNBA All-Star Game on ABC, topping the previous record of 1.44 million. So 2 million more people watched the WNBA All-Star Game, in which the WNBA All-Stars beat Team USA. Anyway, 2 million more people watched. And I mean, I can't equate every one of those 2 million people to be because of Caitlin Clark. Her whole act, her whole bravado is so it's not just unbecoming of somebody who's a coach. But your job when you're USA basketball, the coach USA basketball, like you're a champion of the game. You're growing the game, and there just isn't there's a coach speak code that everyone knows, and she refuses, and it shows her what has to be an insecurity, right? She feels like Shooter McGavin. That's what she feels like. I was too busy winning.
Caitlin took the worst team in the WNBA, had a rough start in the first year, and now they're actually competitive.
All right, dude, but she took the worst team in the WNBA. They're terrible to start the year, and now they're competitive. And oh yeah, by the way, she's really good, and people care. They want to watch her play. And when put in a situation where you have better players around her, she becomes a facilitator. Like, I don't understand what her deal is other than some massive, massive insecurity. And as we've said before, she is the embodiment of what's wrong with what's hard with women in the workplace, is that the biggest challenge, biggest hurdle for women to get over in the workplace is other women.
You know what the average attendance is when Caitlin Clark plays home or the road?
What?
15,300.
Wow.
Okay? 15,300. Do you know what Caitlin Clark just got the contract from Nike?
Nike.
You know what the contract is?
I want to say it's $3 million a year for 8 to 10 years. It's almost $30 million, something like that.
Right there. Look at this. Caitlin Clark gets 15,591 fans in attendance, 105% increase compared to the average game is 76.45. Can you pull up what Caitlin Clark just got? What is the Nike contract with Caitlin Clark? Nike contract, $28 million is what the contract is. Okay? This is WNBA is paying Caitlin Clark $28 million. Good for freaking you. You know what America loves? Let me break it down for you. We absolutely love one thing. You know what it is? Underdogs. Caitlin Clark is an underdog. We don't care if it's WNBA. We don't care if it's the UFC and they said, Dana, you'll never make it. We don't care if it's a presidential candidate. We don't care if it's a comedian. We don't care if it's a businessman. We don't care if it's a podcaster. We don't care if it's a fighter. We don't care if it's anything. We don't care about your color. We don't care if you're married, single, divorced. We don't care about anything. We love humble underdogs. We just do. We love an underdog that comes in, that's got a fight, that wants to go out there and do it. And Caitlin Clark's doing it. And she's getting all these eyeballs. And I'm so happy for her to get the 28 flipping million.
A lot of people there in the arena, just for a draft watch party. That's pretty incredible. So awesome. I can't wait to get there and actually be playing games. I know it'll be a packed crowd.
You can always tell when it's a home game day for the Fever because downtown Indy gets flooded with the number 22.
Caitlin Clark just dropped the news. She's officially part of the WNBA
Tonight in women's basketball, record-breaking Iowa Hawkeye star Caitlin Clark has announced she's entering the WNBA draft this year. And it's big news here in Indianapolis because the Indiana Fever hold the #1 pick in that draft.
And Clark is skipping her final season of eligibility to go pro. Just last week, Iowa played at IU in Bloomington, and this was the line to see her at Assembly Hall.
Honestly, I think it's super special, and sitting at the table, kind of obviously knowing where I'm going, you still get a little bit anxious when the commissioner walks out and says your name. It's something you dream of, like a moment I've dreamed of since I was in 2nd grade, and be there with my family at the table was amazing, and to share it with them was super special.
And now the dreams of Indiana Fever fans coming true today. This announcement's a huge deal for the Indiana Fever, who already have 2023 WNBA Rookie of the Year Aaliyah Boston on their roster now.
And the Fever hold the #1 pick in this year's draft. It's widely expected that they will go with Clark. And as Fox 59's Eric Graves shows us, basketball fans are already excited about the idea of adding her to the roster.
Caitlin, Indianapolis ready to welcome the best player in college hoops to Gainbridge Fieldhouse. We were at the NFL Combine Experience today talking to fans about football, and they had plenty to say about the future of Fever basketball, too.
Breaking records for history, selling out crowds, and balling out. That's what Iowa superstar Caitlin Clark does.
She's a star already, and she's not even a professional on that level yet.
She's rewritten record books over her 4 years at Iowa, now owning the NCAA women's scoring record and creating new fans of women's basketball along the way.
I haven't really followed a lot of women's basketball up until this year. I've never seen a player like that. really, she's incredible.
Home or away, Clark has been selling out venues across the country this year, including Assembly Hall just a few weeks ago.
Just has this energy that everyone's just kind of attracted to and drawn to.
An intensity that fans of all ages love.
Do you like watching Caitlin Clark?
Yes.
The Indiana Fever have had the top pick in this year's WNBA draft for a while now, but it was Clark with the question mark. Would she stay in school for another year or turn pro? Thursday night, she made the announcement.
Caitlin Clark announced she's going to declare for the WNBA draft.
Did she? I didn't hear that. Oh, that's fantastic.
Clark's decision puts her on a collision course with the Fever at number 1, giving fans plenty to talk about.
It'll sort of add some energy to female sports.
I think it's going to change the landscape for the Fever.
Nothing is set in stone, but Fever legend Tamika Catchings posted on X welcoming Clark to the Fever, and Clark liked the post. Fans already comparing her to Indiana hoops greats.
That would be phenomenal, following behind Tamika Catchings and some of the other ones that have already been here.
She'll be the Reggie Miller of the Fever, is what we hope.
Over to the WNBA, where the Indiana Fever introduced the first overall pick from Monday's draft, Caitlin Clark. Her resume is as long as the three-pointers she drained while helping lift women's hoops to unprecedented popularity. Take a listen to the top overall pick. It's new on SportsCenter.
I can't think of a better place for myself to start my career, a place that loves basketball, supports women's basketball, and an organization that really does things the right way. I'm just very thankful that they have a belief in me. I was just ready for a new challenge and something new in my life. Felt like I kind of had done everything at Iowa that I possibly could, and we did a lot of amazing things, but to be able to come here and stay in the Midwest, you can't script it any better. I hated playing at Indiana, and they hated me, so hopefully a lot of them turn into Indiana Fever fans, but I mean, they hated me for good reason. It's a hard place to win at, and there's going to be learning curves for me. I'm not going to come out here and score 40 points a game. Like, that's not what I'm going to do. I think it's just, learning from the amazing people that I have around me and having a lot of fun, but also, don't lose who I am. That's what's got me to this point. Continue to be myself, and I think a lot of good will come from that.
This game was really a springboard to see the all-star list of constellations in the WNBA. Take us inside your thoughts.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about all these eyes that Caitlin Clark brings, right? I know there are so many Caitlin Clark fans for good reason. She broke a WNBA record in tonight's game with 19 assists to go along with 20-plus points. What Caitlin is doing is amazing, but there are so many other talented pieces around her, and that's the best part. When you watch Caitlin shine, what else do you get to see? Aaliyah Boston have 28 points, and then even on the opposite side, you start to fall in love with opponents as well, and those players like Arike Gumbawale and Odyssey Sims, who had 24 points each, or Natasha Howard, who's a forward who had 8 assists. All the players for the Dallas Wings, even JC Sheldon, who's a rookie alongside Caitlin Clark, knocked down some big-time threes. So all these eyes on Caitlin puts all the eyes on the rest of the league that is filled with so much talent, and that's the best part. For any Indiana Fever game, you're seeing Caitlin, of course, in the talented Indiana team, but you're seeing everybody.
No question. Let's take a look and keep our eyes on what may happen moving forward. Next Indiana win, they're going to match last season's win total. Dallas is sitting there at the bottom of the WNBA standings right now with Washington, but you say fortifications are coming. Take us inside the second half for both of these teams.
I see Indiana firmly in, and even possibly winning a playoff series or two. I don't think they have enough to win a WNBA championship, but they're already, in my opinion, light years ahead of where I thought they would be, and they're not even close to their ceiling. This team and this season, as they put seasons like this together, this can be a team that hangs another banner, and I know Indiana fans would absolutely love that. I see them in the playoffs solid.
You can always tell when it's a home game day for the Fever because downtown Indy gets flooded with the number 22.
Just go down the street and you're seeing 22 shirts everywhere.
The number that belongs to the one and only Caitlin Clark.
I'm really happy I got to see her today. Yeah. It was like a dream come true.
Her star power was on full display against the New York Liberty when Clark made history, not only for herself as a rookie, but for her team when she hit a triple-double, electrifying the crowd.
It's historic. It was pretty awesome. We're big Iowa fans, so we've been watching her for years, and it was great to see her live.
It was pretty surreal because we were watching TV, I think, the game before, and she got really close to it. I think she was like a couple of rebounds away, and I didn't think that I would actually be at the first one, but here we are.
It felt really exciting that my favorite basketball player made her first triple-double.
We've been following her since
last season with Iowa, but seeing her do what she did on the court today, that was actually really amazing.
Not to mention, the Caitlin Clark effect is changing the game overall.
What she has done for the sport of basketball and what she's done for women's sports, period, it's amazing.
The WNBA, that professional league, is just, it's growing amazing. Like, I just can't believe they're selling out, and I love it. It's awesome.
Go Fever! Let's go! Triple-double, first rookie! Fans have been traveling across the country for Fever games, and for some, it's their first introduction to a feeling Hoosiers have known forever.
There's some kind of camaraderie, you know? I think everybody feels it. Like I said, it feels electric, like something big is gonna happen.
How long was your drive?
7 hours.
7 hours. Was it worth it?
Yeah.
I've been enjoying watching Fever basketball since Tamika catches, so just to have this up war again, you know, in the city is very...
If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We know watching this video takes some of your time, and we truly appreciate you sticking with us. Your support helps us bring you more great content,